Hey everybody, welcome back to the Thursday evening Financial Thing live stream. I am Lawrence. As always, glad to have you here, glad to be here. Hope everybody is having a great week. Got the green healthy shake tonight. Yeah, it's been a weird week for the financial markets. We're seeing a ton of pressure. Stocks, cryptocurrency obviously having a pressure-filled time over the last couple of days. If you've been watching the markets, if you're a Bitcoin holder, you're probably a little bit nervous. So we're going to talk about that tonight. We're going to talk about a little bit of peer-to-peer. Oh, hold on. Let me close this out. A little bit of peer-to-peer lending news and some stock market stuff. We need to look at the trading 212 portfolio. There is some cash in the portfolio, and I think I might make a trade before the markets close today. We have about an hour and a half, a little bit less than an hour and a half, so a little bit of research to do on that. And we talk about some of the scams that are going around right now in the cryptocurrency market, and I was very, very close to being a victim a couple of times. And not just in cryptocurrency, but some things that you want to watch out for. And I want to show you two of the things actually that got me. One very much close to getting me than the other, but some things to watch out for if you're getting emails from people or companies that look very similar to the emails that you might get from major companies, and how these scamsters are out there trying to trick you out of your money. So you do have to be very careful about what's going on out there at the moment. But yeah, let's get into it. We're going to really try to make this stream less than 1 hour today. Read today in honor of the downwards trends that we're seeing in the cryptocurrency market, except for gaming. And if you've been following my Facebook on the Financial Thing Facebook group, you'll know a couple of weeks ago I posted about gaming cryptocurrencies. I thought those were going to be the next big explosion up, and over the last couple of weeks we've seen some gaming cryptocurrencies really take off, and some things that I missed, and I'll show you those too. And there's some opportunities if you're you like taking a little bit more risk, and there is risk involved. None of this might work out, but you can also make some pretty good gains. Quick shout out to our sponsor Kuflink, as always, for sponsoring the YouTube channel and this stream. You could sign up, get up to $4,000. Let me say that again: $4,000 cash back on your first investments if you're a customer, a new investor to Kuflink. So excellent offer that they're doing. Terms and conditions do apply. Capital is at risk. You can go to join.kuflink.com/financial-thing, or go to the Financial Thing website. There is banners on the website you can click through and get yourself some of that cash back. Please hit that thumbs up if you can, and consider subscribing to the channel. And also, if you like what I'm doing, become a Patreon supporter for as little as 1 cup of Starbucks a month. You can support the channel, support what I do. Of course, no pressure. If that's something you decide you want to do, great thanks to you. Let's say a quick shout out, as we always do, to everybody in the stream. Norman is first. Cheers to you, Norman, in Chile, Sussex. Dave Dawson, dividend specialist, is here. We've got Annabelle Nyrin. I don't know where you are. You say hola. You're probably in Spain, hopefully enjoying some warmer weather. It's actually pretty warm here in Orlando. I'm going to be returning to the UK for the first time in a while in December. I'm going to put the winter jacket on. I'm sure it's going to be bloody freezing. Paul Bagworth is here. Alan Stratford, Mike Powell in Southampton. Peter Vince in Leatherhead says it's another mild autumn day. Colin Perry from the Peak District. Paul Bagworth. Brian from Woburn. Paul New in Stockport. Stephen Hale in Nottingham. John Day in Nottingham. Akichak, of course, in Accrington, always following the Bitcoin markets. Mark B And Steve Thomas, and for anybody else that's watching now or in the future, welcome. Happy that you're here. And also I'm going to give you an update on that little crypto mining venture that I got into a couple of weeks ago and kind of show you the results. And, there are some opportunities out there for people that want passive income. Some things that are not very well publicized, and I was surprised that this thing even existed. As you remember, I showed you my little air quality monitoring device that I've had set up in this office now for a couple of weeks. I don't know if you can see that. It tells me a score. I'm at a score of 84 out of 100 at the moment. And this company pays for air quality data information that I supply them. They pay me in a little token called Planet tokens, which are worth a little bit under 40 US cents each, and so I get paid out on those. I'm going to show you the results and let you see what kind of mining you can do with this thing. It's not really mining, they're just kind of paying you for data, but they call it mining because they're distributing Planet tokens to you for your air quality. So anyway, we're going to do a bit of news from the peer-to-peer finance news website. A couple of things that I found to be interesting. Crowd to Fund reports net earnings of 38.51% since 2015. So it says peer-to-peer business lender credit fund has reported net earnings of 38.51% for its investors between 2015 and the 1st of November 2021. They calculate the overall net earnings by taking cumulative interest and dividing it by the loan book balance. Now, if you read further on through the article, you'll see that that is actually falling. Annualized earnings for 2021 are set to fall below the 5.98% average, as at 1st of November, Crowd Fund has delivered net earnings of 3.42% for investors. So obviously we're seeing those earnings start to fall because of what's happened with COVID, and hopefully those will start to rise up again in 2022. Another survey, I always find these surveys pretty interesting. Nearly 80% of investors plan on investing in crypto this year. You do kind of have to read between the lines of these surveys, but 78% of investors are planning on investing in cryptocurrencies before the end of the year, research has found. UK.investing.com survey of 1,118 adults has revealed that 52% of investors plan to invest in Ethereum, 48% plan to invest in Bitcoin, and here's the good one, 35% plan to invest in the Shiba Inu coin. Power of great marketing right there. The Shiba Inu coin, which is a meme coin in crypto, has done very well, but has recently sort of hit that plateau level, which tends to happen, and has pulled back. Of course, what happens is there's a lot of advertising with these coins, and you see this big run up, everybody comes in at the wrong time, and then the smart people pull out, take their profits, and kind of leaving the people who got in late stuck with this coin that's now worth less than they paid for it. Shiba Inu coin is one of those coins. Smartly, though, that they are considering investing in Bitcoin, 48% of them. 74% also believe Bitcoin will hit a new record value exceeding 70,000 US dollars, 52,000 pounds by the end of this year, while 26% believe it's already reached its highest point for the year. Yeah, what do I believe? I think that this, we'll see anywhere from $70,000 to $100,000 by the end of the year. It's not unusual for Bitcoin to go up 30% in just a couple of weeks. We're seeing some pressure right now, a couple of different reasons, and I'll kind of get into that after we're done with the news here. But November 19th, tomorrow, is a big day for Bitcoin. I'll explain why. Bondora sees a drop in secondary market transactions. So Bondora is a European peer-to-peer lending company. It was actually one of the older ones that I invested in. but they have seen secondary market transactions drop from £265,000 to £214,000. And, I don't know what the reasons for that are. I sort of wonder if cryptocurrency is taking favor away from the peer-to-peer lending industry because people are, they've got these gold pound signs in their eyes and they're seeing people making massive profits in crypto, whereas peer-to-peer they're saying, well, maybe I'm only going to make 5 or 6%, which is a very dangerous mindset to get into when you chase returns. You have to really keep a diverse portfolio if that's your risk profile. If you're a person who's younger and you don't mind taking a lot of risk, by all means, those types of people are going to be piling into cryptocurrencies and not really paying much attention to peer-to-peer lending. But you could say that maybe peer-to-peer lending has seen sort of this drop-off because of the very modest gains that you might be able to secure in peer-to-peer lending versus cryptocurrency, where you can literally double, triple, quadruple your money in a day. So I think that might be the reason why Bondora is seeing this drop off. And of course, Bondora is very big in the European market, as is cryptocurrency right now. Assets Capital, as Stuart Law, who we've had on the stream. If you haven't watched the live stream with him, you can see it on the Financial Thing YouTube channel. They are working on a £20 million loan pipeline to meet investor demand. Of course, there's a lot of money out there for people that want to invest in assets capital loans. They've had a bit of a stagnation, but that is starting to revamp up. And I think what you're going to see is there's just going to be too much demand and not enough loan supply. When these loans start to come out, especially in the manual lending accounts, I think you're just going to see these loans getting absolutely snapped up. So possibly the answer to that is going just to use the auto invest products, like the 90-day or the 30-day automatic investment product, because you may just have a really hard time getting into some of these manual loans. So we'll see those rolling out as time goes on, but Stuart has said that he is working hard on getting these loan pipelines moving. 75% rise in digital banking. This really doesn't surprise me. I mean, if you couldn't go into the bank, then what are you going to do? You're going to use more digital banking. But I also think that, once people go to digital banking, they're not going to go back into going into the high street branches anymore. Because once you're kind of forced into using something that's better, you tend not to go back. Kind of like prices, what we're seeing right now with this inflation. Prices are going to go up, and they are not going to go back down. You heard it here first. Lend Invest heralds Scotland as a buy-to-let hotspot. Look at that beautiful picture of, Edinburgh. Okay. Lend Investor says Scotland has the highest buy-to-let yields, and predicted house prices and sales will continue to increase in major cities in the nation. I totally agree with that, and from my own experience, just on a rental property that I own in Poole, in Dorset, I've seen a very, very horrible yield over the last year, mainly due to also expenses of some things that have happened inside the home itself that have caused having to put money in, but a really, really paltry 1.2% return on investment on what I paid for the property. So if you can get Glasgow's yield average of 7.9%, followed by East Ayrshire at 7.4%, then Scotland could be really a good place to look if you're interested in the buy-to-let market. Kuflink has finally released an ISA wallet, which is going to allow people within ISAs to directly invest in manual loans, which are ISA eligible. The peer-to-peer lending platform said this is to give investors greater control over their innovative finance ISA. The peer-to-peer lender has also given investors more control over which funds they use when investing, with tips when investors hover over their mouse over each wallet to guide them through so they make the correct decision. Kuflink has also released pool total deals and total value, so now lenders are able to see both the total value of their pool and the amount invested across Kuflink's diversified range of loans in its auto invest product and the total number of loans. So Kuflink making good strides for people that have wanted to invest in ICE deals manually. Now they're just making it easier for people to do that, which is a good thing. That's the peer-to-peer lending news this week. One, I wanted to show you what's going on in this portfolio. We have taken a bit of a beating in the Trading 212 portfolio. If you've been following along, this was the portfolio that started at £5,500, and right now you can see up here the account value is still really good, £16,035. We were up over just a little bit over 17,000, but made a trade, sold Centrus Energy. Centrus took a massive upswing, and I just decided to pull the profits out of Centrus. So now you can see here, it was on November the 11th, we sold at $84.50 on that fill, and $84.20 US cents here. And you can see since then the price has actually fallen back to 71, so it was a really good timing sell. Not by design. It's not like the crystal ball knew that there was going to be a pullback. It didn't know. It was just pure luck, pure timing, and we left some of the stock in here. You can see 569 pounds worth. But now what that has left us with was 2,500 pounds of free cash. And I was thinking about what to do with this money, where to invest it. Everything is just looking pretty weird at the moment. If you look at the portfolio, CleanSpark, which had done really, really good over the last month, has had this big pullback. And this is a cryptocurrency mining company. It's for clean energy mining company. You can see here, it's gone from $22.93 all the way back down to 17. Our average price was $15 US and 34 cents. What happens when cryptocurrency takes a dive? Obviously, these miners, they lose profit because the value of the Bitcoin has dropped. So when they're mining, they're not making as much. So we're seeing that. And part of me is tempted to shove that extra cash into CleanSpark. But a couple of other things here. What I tend to do is to buy on red days. So if something is really minus a lot, I think it's worth looking at. This Comstock Resources is really down. We are down 9.92% for the last week. I think this stock is going to do well in the future, but again, this is volatile. Diamondback Energy, we've taken a pullback on that. Pretty much everything is pulled back. Flex LNG has done pretty good in the last week because they had really good earnings results. If you look at the other oil stocks, FLNG is doing well. Not today, down a couple of percent, but over the last month, you see this uptick that we hit here, which has been good. And then Hut 8 Mining still up 60%, but again, you've seen this big pullback from its high of $16 all the way down to 12. Lloyd's is still holding steady. Facebook has crawled back a little bit. We were down, I think, 9% at one time. Occidental Petroleum, we've had a pullback on that in the last month, 6% down. So I look at these companies, and when I'm thinking about where to pile money into, I try to find ones that are in the red and that are having red days. So you can see here Palantir is down about 15% total, so not doing well on that. And Tullow scratching, clawing its way back a little bit. We were down 17%, now to 12%. Vermilion Energy, again, all of these stocks have just pulled back. What is it, 7.5%. And I think we're seeing a consolidation in oil that will flatten out and hopefully start to uptick again. LPI, which we've done really well in the past, has really pulled back a lot. We're down about 10% for the month. But here's what I'm thinking with this money, or at least with part of it, is Alibaba Alibaba, right? Is it going to let me show you the chart? Alibaba has had a rough day today. I don't know. Let's see what we are for the day. So we can pull that up. Yeah, we started up here. Was that today? 161. We've dropped back all the way down to 142. And this was a $280 stock. If we look at the 1 year chart, and we've come back all the way from here down. And to be honest, I'm not a big fan of Chinese stocks. I'm just not. There's a lot of risk that comes with this. You can see down here there's this big sell-off, this red sell-off volume here. But I think this might be a buying opportunity down here at $142. I think Alibaba is just going to be fine. They're going to do very well in the future. So I think what I'm going to do is actually take, what should we do? Let's make a trade right here. This will be the first ever live trade on the stream. And call me crazy, but I'm just feeling like this Alibaba stock is going to, once it settles, start to take off again. Can't put it in Tesla, too high. Everything else seems like it's in a difficult position. We've got a lot of oil energy exposure in here, flattened off by some of this Meta Facebook shares. So I'm thinking, let's do a little Alibaba purchase right now and see how we do with that. So give me a second, and we can get in at 142. So we're gonna do 1,500 pounds. Probably should just dump it all in, but my gut is saying 1,500 pounds is the number. You can see here if you ever made a trade in trading 212, this is actually what it looks like. So we're paying a £2.25 FX fee, so that's a currency conversion fee. Not too bad. I mean, very small fees considering. So here we go. We'll put that in, and we'll wait to see when that executes. And soon we should be an owner of some Chinese Alibaba shares. Here we go. There we go. That's it. That's been executed. You can see our buy-in price of $142 or 105 pounds, and we're already down 0.18%. That's due to the FX fee. So we'll keep an eye on that and see what happens. And then regarding the other 1,000 pounds, I think I'm just going to wait another couple of days, see what happens with the cryptocurrency markets. I think it does have some effect on the general stock market. I might be wrong about that, but I'm going to explain what's going on tomorrow on November 19th and why I'm just going to sit back with that 1,000 and just maybe put it in the next couple of days into maybe one of these energy stocks. If I see something that's really on sale like Comstock, might just bang it in there. But still, overall, the portfolio has done really, really well. I can't complain at all. It's triple and been able to give money away to charity because of that. So super happy about that. Okay, let's leave that, and a couple of pieces of Bitcoin news. We had a big upgrade on the Bitcoin network this week, which is called Taproot. And what Taproot is enabling Bitcoin to do is smart contracts, which I'm not going to kind of get into what they are, but basically digital agreements that are written into the blockchain code, stored, and those things are what power like decentralized finance applications. Bitcoin's not really known for that. That's an Ethereum thing, but now this Taproot upgrade is going to allow Bitcoin to be able to use better, more efficiently for smart contracts, and also if you want to move Bitcoin to different wallets or different platforms, the fees have never been really that great. They're not anything expensive like Ethereum, but this Taproot is going to create cheaper transactions, which is amazing. Right now, this is the big thing about transaction costs. If you're into cryptocurrency at all, you move Ethereum to another wallet, to exchange into another coin, you can see these crazy fees right now. Right now here is the gas fee of 113 GWEI. I've seen that before, this big uptick in crypto. I mean, these numbers used to be you could get them in the 30 and 40 GWEI range, which meant you were just paying lower transaction fees, but gas fees have gone really ridiculous. So this Bitcoin Taproot upgrade is going to help with that. And that really should lead to a very bullish outlook for Bitcoin, because it is a big upgrade. And if we look at what's going on in the market right now, Bitcoin has really taken a bit of a beating over the last 7 days. You can see all the way down from 65,000. We had a low down here at 57,000, which I think we could go as low as 54. But I bought at 65. I bought at 60. I bought at 58.5. I think these are some great buying opportunities right now. Everything is on sale. If you've ever wanted to get into the cryptocurrency space and you're like, everything's so expensive, well, today was a great opportunity. You can see some of these coins down 15%. Solana, Ethereum dipped below $4,000. We haven't seen that in a while. And yeah, a lot of coins taking an absolute beating. Polkadot, stupid Shiba Inu, down 20% for the last week. And then some good coins here like Avalanche, Binance. I know that I would buy Binance right now, but there is some opportunities. Matic is, I think, a good buy. Chainlink down 23%. I mean, you can get these on a 23% discount. Polygon, which Polygon is going to power a lot of the gaming universe right now, so you can get that under 14%. So in the future, I think that's going to be a great buy. So a lot of opportunities. Now, what's going on November 19th? If you know anything about Bitcoin history, there was a company called Mt. Gox that went out of business. They said they got hacked, and they lost a ton of Bitcoin. 850,000 Bitcoins were lost on this. And this was back in 2014 when the company shut down. But it's been in the court systems for a while. And they are going to be releasing 141,000 Bitcoin, I believe, on the 19th. So all these people lost Bitcoin back then who had bought them on the platform of Mt. Gox are now going to be receiving these coins tomorrow. And there's a lot of fears that people are going to put these on the market and dump them. I think that's one of the reasons you're seeing this big drop. Personally, I don't think that that's really going to make too much of a difference, because in the grand scheme of things, only 1.5% of actual Bitcoins available are on trading platforms for sale. So even that 141,000 coins wouldn't make too much of a dent. I think it's about a 0.3% of the entire Bitcoin circulation. But of course, you've got fears that people have about what's going to happen in the future, and that's why the market is freaking out the way it is. But I think this is just a really temporary thing. I have seen reports that some people are saying Bitcoin could go down to 17,000. Yeah, it could. If it did, I'd be piling in as much as I could. But yeah, if you're thinking about getting in, I think it's a good opportunity now. Not financial advice, of course, but maybe wait for the next day or two, see what happens with the market. If we see this number go down into the $54,000 range, I think this is a great opportunity if you've always wanted to get some exposure. Also, wanted to talk about gold. Now, I've never been a fan of precious metals at all as an investment. Highly market dependent of timing of when you were able to get in and out. But I'm starting to see there's a possibility that for a hedge, I think the stock market is in for a rude awakening. When that's going to happen, I have no idea. Nobody knows. But safe to say that eventually we are going to see a pretty big stock market pullback due to what's going on in the economy with inflation. And when people pull out of stocks and equities, well, where are they going to go now? You really don't have that many choices. Are you going to put it in bonds? Probably not. There's no interest being paid in bonds. You could put it in cryptocurrencies, yes, if you have a risk tolerance and understand that it will be volatile. You're not going to put it in the bank account because you're just going to be getting eaten away by inflation, which is going rampant. So your money is just debasing every year. So what does that really leave you? It could leave you real estate if you have enough money and you don't want to take on debt. You could put it into rental properties. But for the most part, I think most people are going to be looking at precious metals. And there is some weird things going on with precious metals at the beginning of 2022. I don't exactly know what the details are, but I was speaking to a gold dealer who was telling me that the USA has something in their government statute that says at the beginning of next year they can revalue the price of gold. Who knows what they're going to revalue that to? But if everybody starts exiting the equity markets, this price of these precious metals could really start to take off. We're seeing gold here is at 1864 an ounce, which is very similar to what it was almost 9 years ago. So if you'd bought in at the high point, you've been watching your gold decrease all the way down here to 1,000 an ounce, and then just kind of bounce around. So not really looking like much of a good investment unless you happen to buy in at the bottom. We can see here, some of these prices, of course, back in the early 90s were very, very low, and we had this big uptick. And yes, highly market and highly timing dependent, but there could be something to say about putting in some money into precious metals just as a hedge if the markets downturn, the stock markets do go backwards. And I'm not one to suggest market timing, more for playing both sides of the markets. When the markets do go down, these precious metals might see a really big explosion upwards. And we haven't seen that in a while. If you look at these charts, last time we saw that was really here 2004. We did see this huge uptick for over 4 years of a double. And then down here, 2008, $720 an ounce. We had this parabolic move up to $1,772 an ounce. So you could see that again. People move out of equities. They're going to look for a safe haven, especially more classic investors. And what do they think that safe haven is going to be? Probably gold and also silver. If we look at the silver prices, from what I understand and what I've read, silver might be one of the most undervalued precious metals at the moment. So we're looking at about $24 an ounce for silver. So what is that in pounds? Well, British pounds, 18 pounds and 35p. So there could be a case for really diversifying into some precious metals, just a hedge, against the stock market correction. I used to think bonds were a good hedge. That was why I held bonds for when that market did backtrack. But after looking at those, I just don't really see much in positive news for bonds and that those things are going to increase in value at all. But I see precious metals possibly next year really starting to uptick. I think it's better to own the actual physical metal if you can. If not, you can own GLD, which is the Spider Gold Trust, which is $173. This is the S&P 500 Spider Gold Trust. And you could also buy SLVR. No, that's not the one. SLV, which is the iShares Silver Trust. Again, not really ideal, but if you want exposure to the metal silver market, this is a very easy way to do it. You can see here, $22.96. So you are trading at a bit of a discount, not in your favor. So maybe something to look at if you feel a little uneasy about the stock market. Now, I wanted to talk about also gaming, right? What I do is I look for opportunities within the cryptocurrency space where some of these gaming tokens, I have a watch list here I'll show you. And again, just bear with me because it may not be something that you're really familiar with that you'd ever want to look into. But we always look at opportunities, right? And these are some of the coins that I've been watching over the last couple of weeks. You can see here 7 days up the sandbox, which I actually looked at when it was 70 cents, and now it's gone to $4. I've had a 70% uptick in 7 days. Some of these have really moved. So there are some really good opportunities out there within gaming. Obviously, tons of research has to be done. This coin I think is really interesting. This is a coin called Derace, which is going to be horse racing, 3D horse racing on an app where people are going to be able to buy their own horse and then run it, train it, gamble on it. It's pretty crazy. If you look at the charts and the opportunities on these coins, pretty good down here from $1.52, and then you can see all the way this was the time to get in. Obviously during these lulls here at the very beginning of 50 US cents, now you've gone up to $4.72, but plenty of opportunities out there if you're into the cryptocurrency space. Oh, look at the gas fees right now, 152. So we've seen that go from about 100 GWEI to 152 just in a matter of minutes. But so some pretty good opportunities. Again, I'll be kind of covering and really watching this space more. But I wanted to talk about scams, because when I was doing these cryptocurrency research into these games, some of them are not out yet. And I think that's how you can really make a lot of money, if you have the risk tolerance, just to go into games that haven't been released yet and that are going to be selling cryptocurrency on the open market as fundraising for when these games get released. And people will use those cryptocurrencies to buy and sell things within the games. That's why the coins will do well. Some of them, not all of them, of course. But I heard about this game, Guild of Guardians, and I was researching it. It looked kind of a cool game. And I got a message on, I think it was Discord. I follow some of these gaming channels so I can keep my ear to the ground. And somebody even sent me a message and said, you can buy the Guild of Guardian coin before it gets, it's being released as a private community sale. And up here is a very nifty counter saying that out of 2 million coins that are issued, 1.2 million have already been sold. And you could actually buy the coins right here. Now this is a scam. And I was very, very close to being fooled by this because it does look legitimate. You have to be very, very careful. This counter, how I spotted this wasn't true. First of all, I went to the Guild of Guardians Twitter account and they said the only way you can buy this coin when it comes out, and it's not out yet, is going to be on a coin listing website called CoinList. So that was the first thing. But when I pulled this up on my mobile phone, this counter was not the same. It was down in the 42%, and every time I refreshed it, it would change. You can see this one. See how it just went? Now it's gone up a little bit, and that counter's gone up. It's clever little programming on a website, and you could put in your name and information here, and you could actually connect a wallet, like an Ethereum wallet, and kiss your money goodbye. So there are a lot of scams out there. And look, not just in cryptocurrency. If you Google anything to do with scamming, you'll see a bunch of YouTube videos about Indian scammers calling people and saying their computer's infected, and or that the government is after you for court fees. And there's just tons of scams out there, regardless, not just in the cryptocurrency space. So please, please, please be careful if you're doing anything to do with, especially cryptocurrency right now. Let's see this counter go up again. See how it just went up? This is all fake. And something else too, I want to show you an email that got me pretty good. I wasn't really fooled by it, but it looked extremely legitimate. And something to pay attention to. This is a wallet that I own, a cryptocurrency wallet called MetaMask, which is a very big, well-used wallet. It has millions of users. And this actually looks very much like a MetaMask email. I mean, it's copied identically, and it says this MetaMask requires all users to go through verification and checks. And if you don't do it, then your wallet will be canceled. And then it has a verify wallet. Again, looks just like a MetaMask email. But what I always do is I always click on the email address just to check it. And sometimes these can be masked to look like real emails. But this one, I don't know if you can see this. Let me see if I can zoom in for you. Check this out. This email address is obviously fake. It says dev@lklkianegypt.com. So what happens is people are going to click on this verify your wallet. And it's going to ask for your MetaMask password. And people that don't know any better are going to plug that in to this fake website. And they're going to lose all of their cryptocurrency that's connected to this wallet. It's really unfortunate. It happens all the time. People get scammed. And it's something that you really have to pay attention to. Be very careful with. Not just with cryptocurrency, but anything, even like stock trading accounts, bank accounts. There's just so many unscrupulous characters out there looking to make a quick buck. So be very, very careful. Don't give your password to anybody that doesn't look legitimate. Be careful. Let's have a look at the Alibaba stock that we bought. See how we're doing. This is live. We just made this trade. We are down 0.31%. How much were we down earlier? A little bit more, a little bit less than that. So nothing really happening. I expect this to double or triple tomorrow. No, I'm just kidding. That would be nice. But I'm hoping in the next week this is going to really uptick. So we'll see what happens. And just a quick look at the markets. FTSE's down, what, 0.5% today. Yeah, FTSE's been kind of doing okay up here. S&P's up a little bit. Those trusty tracker, if you're not an advanced investor, you just want to put your money into one place and not have to worry about it. Trusty index tracker is the way to go. Yeah, so interesting happenings this week in the cryptocurrency market. Again, if you can hit that thumbs up button, it helps me with the YouTube algorithm. And I very much appreciate you all being here. I hope you find the information helpful. How long we... Oh, 46 minutes. Okay, I think we might get done today. I'll see if there's any interesting comments. Rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain. That kind of one of those school things. Dave Allard has cider in front of the log burner. That sounds really nice. That's one of the nice things about the climate change that you get in England. Is you get to have freezing cold days where you can light up the fireplace or the electric fire, whatever. You use the log burner and have a good old time with your eggnog during the holidays. Alan Brooks is here from Harrow. Patty is here. Hi, Alan Lomas. You missed the Assets Capital live feed. Well, Paul, you can go back into the YouTube channel under live streams. There's a playlist, and you can look at that Assets Capital interview. Mark B is in Scotland. Rental market is red hot in Scotland. Maybe that's the way. Mark B says CLSK will go to $40. That's your prediction. What is your prediction based on? I think I actually think you're probably right. Let's have a look at the chart. I like CLSK. I thought it was going to be better. Well, everything is crap today. A lot of the markets. Tesla seems to be doing okay. If we look at this 1 year, look at CLSK. We fell from $40 all the way down here to the bargain basement prices of 10. That was a good deal. I think we got in right here at the bottom. It was very lucky timing. Very, very lucky. But yeah, I could see it going back up. And I think when Bitcoin starts to take off again, which I have no doubt that it will, after we get this next couple of weeks out of the way, or even just next couple of days, I could see CleanSpark really start to take off again. Unfortunately, I dabbled in a CleanSpark trading option, which couldn't have been worse timing, but it was for a small amount, just one contract of 100 shares. And that has not done very well, but you know, that's just part of it. It's part of the gamble of options trading. You have to be careful with those. What's happening to MGMI? Is it going bust? No, I don't think MGNI is going bust. I think MGNI is doing what kind of we thought MGNI would do. Let's see. MGNI was one of the first stocks that we had in the trading 2-on-2 portfolio. And we end up selling out. What did we sell out at? It was a while ago. I think at 50, 45, 48. And right now, I actually thought buying back into MG. Oh, look at this. MGNI was up at $61 at one point. Actually more. $61.90. I think we sold out during this middle of this little mountain fall off down here. Should have sold right here. That would have been the play. Of course, didn't do that. But got out nonetheless, and then we saw this boom back up, and then blah, it's just been struggling ever since. But I think MGNI might be a buying opportunity down here at 15. That was what I said to myself. I said, if it gets down to 15, and that is Magnite, by the way, that's a tech stock, but at 15, I think that would be a point where I'd probably look to go back into that. So again, not financial advice, but got the timing pretty right on that one. Some of them you do, some of them you don't. John Day says, my assets capital emails usually arrive after the loans have been filled. Yeah. I know that's the problem, just too much money out there looking for a place, looking for a home in assets capital. It's probably going to become a little bit like crowd property. So the loans are just going to sell out very quickly. Mark B, 140 is support. I presume that you're talking about Baba. Yep. Yeah, I was thinking that too. I don't think that was a bad buying point for Alibaba. China has real problems. China is with their real estate situation. Who knows what's going to happen? I still think Alibaba is going to do well. We'll see. We'll see. You should watch the Peter Schiff and Alex Mashinsky interview, gold versus digital currency. From what I understand, Peter Schiff doesn't even own that much gold. He just sells gold. So we don't really know how much he owns. But I like it when he gets into a debate. It's pretty interesting. Yeah, scammers are getting worse. Brian says, when the stock market's full, that will provide an opportunity to get in. Absolutely. And the question is, when do you get in? That's the tough mental part. You know, it's like Bitcoin, right? Right now we're at 58,000, which 2 weeks ago I was praying for 58,000. I said, damn, if I could have just bought under 60. And right now, the way things are looking, I'm not even sure piling at 58, I could emotionally handle that. That's the problem. Mark says, my prediction is BTC is going to be 98,000 by February, March. Yeah, I think so too. I think that's inevitable. Elon is selling a lot of Tesla stock. Absolutely. Any recommendations for platforms dealing in gold and silver? I think, let me take a look. I think, what is the name of that platform, that company? Bullion. I would just make sure whatever you buy, I think it's Bullion by Post. Yeah, just make sure that you're obviously doing your own research, but I've never bought from this company, but I hear they're legit. See what they got. I would buy gold coins. You have to be careful with gold coins too. Some of them are 22 karat and some are 24. So make sure you know what you're buying. Here's a 1 ounce gold coin. You're going to pay more than spot price too. It's usually 10%. So you see here the spot price is £1,377. You can buy 1 gold coin for $14.59. It's kind of standard. Yeah, this one is a 24 karat, so that's good. You want to try to buy 24 karat if you can. I'm not, just for full disclosure, I'm not invested really heavily in gold. I got a couple of gold stocks. I bought some Barrick gold stock this week. So I feel like my portfolio is just so heavy in oil and energy that I wanted to at least diversify out into Barrick. I haven't checked it today. Maybe look at that. But yeah, you can, I think that bullion by post is a legitimate, or you could just go to a jewelry shop and maybe like a pawn, not P-O-R-N, P-A-W-N. Try to buy it close for spot as you can. Problem with going to jewelry stores is the markup can be really, really horrendous. Another good place is estate sales. People are selling jewelry at estate sales. A lot of the times they'll just sell it for whatever the weight of the gold is. If you have an eye and you know it's real, got to be careful with that. You know what to look out for. You can buy gold at estate sales. Let's have a look at the Barrick gold real quick. We did buy this week. Down 2%, of course. My timing is impeccable. Saw a bit of an uptick here. I don't know what price. I think I went in about 20.63. So down a little bit, but you know, when gold really starts to take off, companies like this are going to do well. Big company. $35.96 billion market cap. So again, you know, just something to diversify in, so that way you got all sides of the market covered. There's a lot of risk on at the moment. Let's look at the stock market risk too, because you know, I'm always paying attention. Really, this is a good risk indicator that I really like. That is, it's in the green right now. It measures the Dixie, like the strength of the US dollar to debt ratios. It's a pretty accurate analysis of how risky it is at the moment in the stock market. And we're still in the green. Anything over 100, you start to get moderate risk, for about 95%. Sorry, 94 points. Anything over 200 then becomes high risk. Anything over 300 is extremely high risk. So we're about 94 at the moment. You can, by the way, if you want to look at that, I highly recommend that right here. You can see it's traderschoice.net. It's called the Man Arena Market Risk Indicator if you want to find out how it's calculated. Down here it has the mathematical formula, and historically this has been pretty accurate, so you can never be 100% accurate, but it's just something to pay attention to. Again, pay attention to the US dollar strength, the 10-year US Treasury percentage. And I know you're thinking, well, I'm in the UK, why does this matter? It matters because the US stock markets are the catalyst for the world stock market. If the US market crashes, all bets are off. Everything is done. So pay attention to the US market, because it's an important indicator of where the rest of the world is going. This is a global economic problem that we're having at the moment. This is not just US. It's... I think I've been called a little bit of a pessimist when it comes to the economy, but you cannot deny the facts of what is going on here. U.S. national debt, $28.9 trillion. That is crazy. That is crazy. I mean, it is just massive. It keeps on going up and up and up and up and up. This is why we're seeing inflation. Let's look at the UK. We don't want to leave you out in the UK. 3.7 trillion. You don't see this number going down. It probably never will, because they cannot stop printing. This is what the government is doing. It's putting us in a worse position. All this printing right here. 3.7 trillion. Gross domestic product is 3.2 trillion. That means 3.2 trillion is coming in. 3.7 trillion is going out. Has gone out. Big problem. Much worse than the US. 2.2 trillion has come in. 28.9 trillion has gone out. You know, imagine running your personal finance like that. Oh, I spend 30% more than I bring in income. It's a huge problem. Now, if you believe this number, yeah, which I don't, I think this is completely false. It says China's national debt is 8.2 trillion. They're bringing in 15. No way. Japan printing 3 times more than they're bringing in. You know, you tell me this isn't a global problem. Germany looking a little bit better. They're actually in the green. UK in the red. India says it's in the green. I don't believe that. France grossly in the red. Italy in terrible economic trouble. National debt 3.2 trillion, bringing in 1.9 trillion. Brazil, horrible problems. Canada in the red. Argentina in the green. How? I have no idea. Again, a lot of these numbers I don't think are accurate. But some countries seem to be doing well. Greece is having a horrible time. 492 billion national debt, only 190 billion coming in. Has come in. So pay attention to these numbers because they're very, very, very important. You can go to the debtclock.org and see these numbers. They're real time. Gives you some fascinating information, which I think this is very accurate. Student loan, this is one that hasn't blown up yet, which I don't see how it cannot blow up. Absolutely crazy. 1.7 trillion US dollars in student loan debt, and then credit card debt, $1 trillion in credit card debt. 1 trillion. I mean, get your head around that number and say the economy's fine. I mean, it's not. So pretty fascinating numbers all around here about the kind of economic problems that are going to be facing not only the people in the US but in the world, and why the stock market is in for a very big punishing beatdown. When that's going to happen, who knows? Because the governments are propping up stock markets right now. The US Treasury is issuing debt, buying it out the back door. They have a trading desk inside of the Fed where they can just create their own trades. They're buying assets too. Many people believe they're buying equities to prop up the markets. You know. So keep an eye on this information because people in the know are going to be the ones who are going to be okay, and having it covered from all sides is important, which is why I started thinking about the precious metal side being overly exposed in stocks. 0 bonds right now to take advantage of this equity market that has just been really going up and up and up and up. So that's my theory behind it. I might not be right. I think I'm right. Dave says, are you still doing the option puts to generate income? You know, I was, but I made a mistake that kind of slowed me down on it. It wasn't the puts, it was the calls. I was selling covered calls on stocks that I own. And one company that really was paying great premiums. I'll show you what happened. Why I slowed down. I still think it's an excellent income generation tool if you can write covered calls. You can. There are ways to do that within the UK on US stocks. BCYC. I'm going to show you why this didn't work out. It worked, but it was a kind of a not, it was a lost opportunity. Anyway, this is Bicycle Therapeutics. There was some really, really big premiums on this option contracts. And I had bought it down here at 40, I think down here in the $45 range. So I had a couple of hundred of these stocks, and I thought the premiums were so good they were paying $500 to $900 for one options contract for a call. So I'm essentially telling somebody I will sell you my stock at a price, and I think I picked $55 and $50. I did two different contracts. But what happened here, and this is right where I wrote it in this area. I don't know if you can see this. I wrote it down here, these options contracts. And of course, what happens is the stock just went absolutely parabolic up to 59, and my shares got called away. So I ended up selling, I think, one contract at $45. So I gave away 100 shares at 45 each, and I paid 40. And I gave away 100 at $50, and I paid $45 per share. So really lost opportunity because the options contract went way higher, became more valuable. I couldn't get out of it because I would have been in the red. So I just let the shares get called away, but I think I lost about 2,000 in lost opportunity profits. I still got paid for the stock that the person purchased off me, and I got paid the premium to write the contract. This is probably all foreign language to people out there that don't understand options contracts, but basically when you sell an options contract to somebody, they pay you a premium for that opportunity, and you get to keep that premium no matter what happens. So I kept the premium, and I also were able to sell the shares for the rising uptick price of $5 on 100 shares, and then $8 I think on the other 100. But if I'd have kept the stock, not written the options contracts, I would have just been able to sell out here at maybe 57, 58. Actually, you can see it's up to 60 now, so 61. So, there's some risk involved on the upside that you may not get all of the upside risk. And this is why it's better to do options contracts on stocks that don't really have huge premiums and that they don't move. Things like Exxon oil, for instance. You can see it's kind of really more of a stable stock. It moves a little bit, but it doesn't have these big spikes. Having said that, it's gone from 53 to 65, which is unusual for this. Or you could do it with a stock like Coca-Cola. You want to do it with blue chips that just really don't move much, and then you don't. The goal is, if you're writing call options, you don't want your stocks to get exercised away from you, because you want to collect the premium. You can use that as income, and then you want to hold the stock if possible. But you can see here, Coke tends to be, somewhat of a more stable stock, whereas if you're writing options contracts on it, you're probably not going to get those exercised. So yeah, but there is some risk involved. And then too, if you think something is going to do really well, like if you own a lot of oil stocks, you think oil is going to really go higher, then writing calls on them doesn't really make a lot of sense, because you're going to lose out on some of that uptick value. So it's more for shares that you don't necessarily think are going to really move that much up or down, more steady shares. Like you could do it on something like KMI. You see Kinder Morgan. This might be a good stock to do it. It really hasn't moved a ton between that level of 16 to 18 US dollars. Pays a dividend too. It's got a 6.6% dividend yield. It's a oil and gas line pipeline company. So you just have to kind of be a little bit careful when you're doing it. But I think there's some great opportunity. Oh, I didn't show you the chart. This is the KMI chart. You can see here it hasn't moved much over the last year. A little bit here, but again, sort of staying in that $3 or $4 levels. You just don't want something really volatile that's going crazy, like something Bicycle Therapeutics. You're just going to see those big movements where it could go 20-30% in either direction. You're going to get higher premiums for your options. You got to be more careful. But it's an excellent strategy if you're in retirement, you want to get income, retirement income. Writing options is you selling them. I would never recommend buying options. I think that's very risky. You want to be selling them because that puts you on the right end of the trade. I think selling puts too. If you want to own a certain stock, you can sell a put and say it's 20 pounds. You want to buy the stock at 18. You can sell a put and say I'll take that stock at 18. If it drops down, you get paid the premium. You get to keep that regardless. And as you get your stock at 18 pounds, that makes sense too. The only thing about that is it ties up your money. So if you, let's say you have a contract for 100 shares at 220 pounds, you got to put in 2,000 pounds and that has to stay in there. And it gets locked up. So you don't actually own the stock, but you have to have the 2,000 in your account, either on margin credit or in cash to pay for the stock if it gets exercised to you. So that is one downside about selling puts, but you could do weeklies though, so you only get it tied up for a week. Options you can write weekly. What else? Oh, one other thing, and then we're gonna go. So let's talk about this mining, this crypto mining little project that I got into a couple of weeks ago. So again, it's the air quality humidifier, and it's pretty interesting, right? This is my office right here, and you can see that it's showing me the air quality. Here's the temperature in Fahrenheit. I have no idea what that is in Celsius. Somebody can tell me. Humidity, carbon dioxide, chemicals. And that gives me this reading score. What I'm doing is I'm selling this information to this company, and they're paying me out in these things called planet tokens. And let's see here. I'm going to show you. Oh, hold on. I got to take it off Wi-Fi. Let's log in real quick. And I'm going to show you how you can make some really good passive income. Oh, come on. Let's try again. Okay, so I have two of these sensors because I got a second one. You can buy these now. I think that's 299 pounds. You can find a discount code if you look around. Just search aware. It's called an aware element. I'll show it to you in a second. But these are the two sensors that I have. And this is the oldest one. No, that's the new one. Here we go. You can see here, they have paid me so far 229 planet coins. And that is over 16 days. Then my other sensor, which I have, you can only run one in each house or one on your internet. They have GPS that tracks it. Right now there's a problem with their GPS, so I've got both of them here in the office. Actually one in the living room. But here's the other one. It's paid out 47 planet tokens over 4 days. So what does that mean? That means that, let me show you what a planet token actually is. Hang on one second, close that. You don't want to see that. So this coin right now is 39 US cents a coin. So you can do the math. I've gotten 229 plus 47. Let's see here. 229 plus 47. 276 coins in, less than 3 weeks. Times by 0.3966. I think I did my math right. See, 229 plus 47, 276 times 0.3969. Yeah, so this is in dollars, 109 US dollars. That's completely passive income. It goes straight into my Planet token wallet, which I can sell. So $109 and literally just for really doing nothing more than providing air quality data So if you want to get into this, now here's what people are asking me: why would this company pay for this kind of information? Well, because they sell it on to other air quality institutions, and they want this data. They have no other way of getting this data from people like us, because nothing like this exists. You can buy this in the UK, by the way. It's, let's see, aware element. You do have to pay a licensing fee too on top of whatever that price is, but here it is in the UK. You can buy it. You're gonna have to wait because they're back orders. Everybody wants to get in on these mining projects, but 12 weeks, £299. Again, you can find a discount if you look around. I think I got mine for 260, something like that. I think you find 10% off. But then you'll need a Planet license, which I'm going to do a video and show you exactly how to do this, but completely passive income. You set it up. Once you've got it set up, it is a bit of a work through to get it set up, but once it's done, you're going to get, I estimate, about probably £110 a month from a sensor. And what you could do is take one sensor, put it in your house, take another sensor, put it in a family member's house, give them a percentage of your coins. And then I think the price of these coins are just going to keep on rising. This could be a coin that goes from 39 US cents up to 75, 80 cents, and this just becomes more profitable. So I think it's always important to look for ways of passive income generation. And again, this may seem like complete foreign language to everybody out there, and it was to me a couple of weeks, 3 or 4 weeks ago. I just found out about these different mining ways to make extra passive income from sharing things. So yeah, I just tell you about what I find and try to share that information with you so you can get on board. If you try to buy one of these units right now on eBay, they're selling for double the cost. So I think it's better just to order one and wait. Sometimes they come a little bit quicker than 12 weeks. Just depends. They're in high demand right now, but they're also pretty cool. I mean, it's kind of cool to see what your air quality temperature is like. And yeah, so there you go. And make some passive income on the way. Wow, we have really gone way too long today. Let's see if there is anything else. Is it worth buying physical gold? Absolutely. Yeah, I think it is good to have a hedge on physical gold. One good thing about physical gold, well, you know, the coins are good because let's say everything really hit the fan and there was massive problems. Is that likely? I don't know. But if you needed to pay for something with a gold coin, you could. A bar is a little bit more difficult. I think the coins are good. But yeah. Are you withdrawing from crowd property? I've just invested there for the first time, but I don't want to wait. No, I'm not withdrawing from crowd property. The only places I'm withdrawing for right now are Lending Works. Pretty much everything else is just staying as is. I'm taking out interest payments from unbolted assets capital. Actually, no, assets I'm rolling in the interest right now. Loan pad, I take some interest out occasionally, but everything is pretty much staying put. Yeah, I agree. Brian says gold, silver, coin, easier to sell than bars. Absolutely. We've been going so long. This is supposed to be really less than an hour. Let's see if you have any other interesting comments. Do you think we're heading for an almighty crash? If so, where do you put your money? I think we're heading for a correction. If you think about it, things cannot continue on the way that they are. The economy is in dire straits, but the market is completely disconnected. So I would just be diversified, you know. I mean, I would have some crypto, specifically Bitcoin. Um, have some precious metals possibly as a hedge. What I like about the gold stock is something like the GLD is if the market were to topple, I think you'll see an inversion. I think you'll see the gold stocks rise up, and you can then move from, once the gold goes high, you can move from the equity back into the equities when they're low. Again, very difficult to time. Personally, I think if you're a long-term investor, 10 plus years, then you just leave things be. Don't worry about it if the markets really do take a dump. Put in any extra cash that you have at that point. So Bitcoin, I don't know if Bitcoin is the best hedge. What I think is that if there's a stock market correction, you will definitely see Bitcoin take a hit. We've seen it before, but what you'll see is usually bear markets, stock markets tend to be very short. I think average 8 months. And then you see this massive uprise afterwards. It's historically happened over and over again. So I think you'll see the same with Bitcoin. I mean, it's not unfathomable to think that Bitcoin could go down 50, 60, 70% and then just rocket back up again. So it's always good to have some cash on the sidelines if you can. But yeah, I mean, saying is there going to be a stock market crash or a correction is saying, is it going to rain? Yeah, of course, it's going to happen one day. I think you ought to do some more on the covered call selling. It's interesting. I think it's a good method of making income. Yeah. So the downside is I have a lot of oil stocks right now, and I think oil could potentially double. I think oil, if we could see 160 US dollar crude. If that happens, those oil stocks are they're gonna go parabolic. And if I write covered calls on them, I'm gonna miss out on a lot of upside. So it's one downside of it. I can show you how to do it. The problem is I've got the only way I can do it right now is through a US trading account, and it might not make sense to people in the UK because it works differently over there. But what I'm going to do is when I come over in December, I'm going to open up an interactive brokers account. I think I can write covered calls on US markets through them, and then I can just make a video. Because none of it is going to make sense. Annabelle said their website does not make it at all clear for a newbie. Maybe I missed something. Are you talking about crowd property? Annabelle, I have a tutorial on my website, actually on the YouTube channel for crowd property. If that's what you're talking about, you can watch a complete walkthrough. If that's what you're talking about. But yeah, I'll do a covered call. I can make a covered call video. Sure, it's just going to be in a US account. Can you do options within an ISA via any of the common shared dealing sites? I don't think you can at the moment. I'll have to look more into that. It's not common in the UK like it is in the US. Options is very, very common. I'm not certain that you can do it within an ISA in a UK account. However, if Interactive Brokers, I think, has an ISA, possibly you could do it in that. I'll check on that. Next week I'll have the answer for you. Mark says, not to make you paranoid, this device could be listening to your chat and sending you spam emails. It's a good point. Could. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so though. Are you talking about this? This thing, this air sensor? I don't know. Could you please give me the lottery numbers for next week? I don't think so because it doesn't have any. It's not connected to the internet through here, only through the app. But I'll look at the number. It just went from 86 down to. I don't know if you can see that. 72. I think if I breathe on it. Yeah, look at that. 54. The CO2 levels, carbon dioxide, just went really high. So it's really working. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm not that paranoid to think that this device is listening to me. I don't know. I tend to be pretty trustworthy of things. Yeah, Dave makes a good. We're already heading towards a correction or crash. Just no one knows when. It's true. Anyway, I think we're gonna wrap this up. It has been going on way too long. Thank you again to everybody. Thanks for Kuflink for sponsoring this live stream. Again, if you want to become a Patreon supporter, I highly recommend it. It's cool. You can scan that little QR code with your phone. It'll take you right there. Or just search financial thing in Patreon and Google. And I'll see you next week, next Thursday. I think we're here on next Thursday. Unless it's actually, it might be a holiday here. Let me look. Next Thursday. Actually, next Thursday is a holiday. So, what we will do, we'll do the stream next Wednesday instead of next Thursday because it is a holiday here in the US of A. And I may be knee deep in some turkey legs. But anyway, I hope you had a really good week and you enjoyed the stream. Sorry it's far too long, but tons of information today to get to. Have a great weekend. Don't stress too much about the crypto markets. They will rebound, especially Bitcoin. May take a while. Completely normal. I'll see you next week, Wednesday. Enjoy your weekend. Thanks for joining me. Hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. And see you next time.